It's on to week 4 as we've got a good Thursday night matchup in store between the Arizona Cardinals and the Toronto Mounties. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming out. And boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Powell's throw complete to McBride. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona first.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Second down, they go again with Henry. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards there and a first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Now this throw caught left side. And they'll work this down inside the 30. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
8 yards on the run there, and that leaves them with 3rd and just a couple. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2. Here's Howell. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. The Lance now to throw. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And on now is the punter, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Fielded at about the 28. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
On the move past the 40. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 39 yards there, a big one.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A first down carry for Henry. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
44 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Down near the goal line, things really get physical. You're always anticipating a running play, but when they do throw it, things happen quickly. A little bit of a bang-bang play there.
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Derrick Henry with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play, that's into a crowd and intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off, and they will score. It's a pick-6 for the Cardinals touchdown. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick-6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring. He rifles one that's intercepted. Tanner Muse with it. And the Cardinals are going to take possession of the football. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Caught on the right side by Jones. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead, and part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he fights his way in, not giving up. And it's a Cardinal touchdown. Derrick Henry with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it is 28-0. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Ready?
They fake the handoff. Now Lance. That's caught. It's McCaffrey again. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now Lance throws the interception, his 3rd. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Cards will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll run it again with Henry. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
2 things to watch. First, his strength and being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
Got a man. It's McBride complete. And he is going to have a Cardinals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Yeah, maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. 82 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. They keep it with Henry on first down. A little second effort there on the strong run. And then drop just inside of the 20. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Now a first carry for their fullback. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
This is how offensive coordinators earn their money. He thought he was ahead of the curve after first down.
Got 7 yards first down play, but then you get stuffed there on second down, maybe just a yard out of it. Now your advantage is evaporated. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. And one play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
That's complete to McBride. Well, that's one of the drawbacks of running the RPO. If those linemen go into run block mode, you can't throw it if they're more than a yard downfield. Second down, Hal back to pass. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Stops shy of the 45 despite some powerful running. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in 3rd and long, and that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Hal Now throwing on third down here. And he's going to be hit and driven into the turf. That is Nick Bosa from out on the edge who worked his way in for the sack. Here comes the Cardinals punter now as he's on to kick it away. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here. But with that, and for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Tanner Muse with it. And the Cardinals are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
12 yards to pick up, good enough for an Arizona first. And the busy night for Henry continues. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now Howell. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Howell trying to pick it up on 3rd. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. After the penalty, it's Henry. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Derrick Henry in the final seconds of the first half. And the Cardinals will extend their lead here just before halftime. The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. Meanwhile, Lance's throw taken in by Samuel. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Cardinals out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The first half, no contest. What will the second half bring? As we are back and underway on EA Sports. And no run back here as the 3rd quarter will commence with a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game.
And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible, let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Lance on target to Samuel. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I wonder if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good game.
And my goodness, another interception. There he goes, left side. The 20. And they will score. It's a pick six for the Cardinals touchdown. McLaughlin for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Makes the score Cardinals 45, Monty 7.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. His guys take over first and 10.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Odafe Owe able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told. Throwing on second and long. Lance winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
On third and long, it's Lance. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And some space here. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a first and goal right at about the 6-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now. They'll give Henry another shot. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a third and goal. Henry. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
First down and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. And the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
Hurry!
To throw again on second down. Lance. That's caught. He finds Danny Gray. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 36. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week.
And this is going to be intercepted. Jalen Thompson picks it. And the Cards are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. They begin with Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. The Cardinals on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there. And it helps him move the sticks. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Henry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. Trucks over him. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That good for 19 and a first down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 124 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
An inside give to Jones. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Calling a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes a defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Here's Jones again on second down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
On 3rd down, Henry. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You'd have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally,
and my goodness, another interception. And the Cardinals are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
and that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Henry again on second down. 153 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And they will take a knee here. The last two plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12.
Well, fans usually love to see...